Welcome back. Day 3 of testimony in the Paul Caneiro trial. And we had just heard from police officer David Marino in regards to the response, first responders, and all of the evidence and things that they noticed at Paul Caneiro's house fire on the morning of 11/20/2018. Around 4:35 a.m. start at Paul Caneiro's residence in Ocean Township. As they come back from lunch, I'm wondering, where Judge Lemieux is going to be as far as mood. We did have another bit of rambling in our cross-examination, but that's to be expected. Remember that defense attorneys are picking apart the investigation as they should. They're looking for anything to put a chink in the armor of the prosecution's case, so to speak. It is the prosecution's duty at all times to prove guilt. Defense doesn't have to prove anything. However, if they're going to throw third parties into it or make assumptions and speculations, they need a little bit of evidence. And this is where Judge Lemieux has been running into a little bit of difficulty, especially with that email yesterday and bringing up demeanor out of nowhere, trying to prove it with an email from 2016, 2 years before the incident. And I understand the premise, because yes, defense was thrown for the loop, they said, because the audios of the call between Keith and Paul was played, and that kind of opened the door for it. They were going to do it with another witness, but they weren't prepared. However, they had never really put forth that they were going to be discussing this, and because of the date of that email, it was a little bit of out of scope, since they'd already had hearings regards to the scope of what expert witnesses and witnesses would testify in regards to the period of time of 2017 and 2018, which is the indicted charges all the way around. They'd already eliminated some of this. So the judge understandably was a bit confused when they start going back to 16, 14, 15. They want to talk about all this stuff from before. They all of a sudden want to bring financial history in on all the accounts from 2014, 2015, and an email about a refi where Keith Caneiro was a bit terse, to be said, with them for being denied and etc. and owing money to the IRS and all of this. Totally understandable to be upset about that. But, they want to present their case that Keith Caneiro was always upset. And when it comes down to it, he really wasn't mad at his brother for stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars or moving hundreds of thousands of dollars throughout this account, especially in an account where he was the trustee, where it was to pay his life insurance and secure his future. And from the testimony, Keith Caneiro had plans. He was moving on.
Okay, good afternoon. Please be seated. Good afternoon. All right. Good to have everyone back. All right, we're back on the record. State of New Jersey versus Paul Caneiro, indictment 19-02-0283. Can I have the appearances of counsel for the record?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Assistant Prosecutor Nicole Wallace on behalf of the state.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Chris Decker, Assistant Prosecutor for the state.
Good afternoon, Monika Mastellone on behalf of Mr. Paul Caneiro, Mr. President to my left.
Good afternoon, Judge Andy Gray, Mr. Caneiro.
Okay, and good afternoon, Mr. Caneiro. All right, we will. No, we won't. Can you come back up, sir?
And we are going to continue.
Hello, sir. Sir, you're still under oath?
Yes.
With
And we'll continue
Officer
with cross-examination, Ms. Mastellone, whenever you're ready.
David Marino.
Thank you, Judge. So we were talking about, just to recap, some of the suspicious things that
were on the scene, correct?
Yes.
When we talked about the gas can, that was found right in front of the garage area, correct?
Yes.
We saw a photo of that?
Yes.
Or a still shot from a video?
Yes.
And we talked about the burn marks in the car. We saw photos of those.
Correct.
We talked about how there's two different fires in opposite sides of the house.
Yes.
And we talked about how, in addition to there being like the burn mark on the hood and the fire char marks that had been extinguished, was there like some gasoline on the ground or something?
There was some gasoline splatter you could see on the car as well.
Okay.
What appeared to be gasoline splatter.
Okay. And so did it appear that, in fact, you had looked at it and you said, it looks like they threw gas on it,
Yes.
right? And when you say they, you mean whoever did this,
Correct.
right? You noticed the gas splatter specifically,
Yes.
and you say to Officer Redmond at one point, you can see the gas marks, see where they threw the gas,
Yes.
right? Okay. And then we talked a little bit about how there was a search there was a DVR system in Mr. Caneiro's garage, right?
Yes.
And you and some other officers went into the garage to retrieve it,
Yes.
to see if it had any relevant evidence on it.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, the basis of you knowing it was there is that another officer spoke to Mr. Caneiro and his daughter, right?
Yes.
And you were never told like you can't get it, right? You just
Correct.
so I'm gonna show you a video of this is from your body worn camera, and it's just it's a few portions of the search. I previously spoke to the state. There's no objection. No objection. We're gonna turn it off. Make sure it's not. And we're gonna start at so this is for the record, the body worn camera file ending 734. We can, if we want to burn the clips onto a disc later, we can do that, Judge, if that works.
What's it marked as?
We'll mark it as D1. D71. And we'll do, it's gonna be D71, this will be A. So 32. So we're gonna start at the timestamp 32. That's good. That's fine, 31:56. And okay, so we're at 31:56. Before we start it, just to orient ourselves, our Officer Marino, this is Mr. Caneiro's garage, correct?
Correct.
And we see one of the Porsches in front of the garage.
Yes.
And this is the left bay garage door, right?
Yes.
And you were about to enter into the garage, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll press play. Can we pause it just for a second? So we see the timestamp is like 32 minutes, right?
Yes.
And you indicated that you had turned your body worn camera on when you arrived on scene at approximately 5:06.
Correct.
So when we see the timestamp of 30, because the video itself doesn't have like a date or a time on it, right?
Correct.
But we can surmise that because of the timestamp and because of when you turned it on, we're about 32 minutes into you being there, right? Which is cool. It's we're approaching about 5:40 a.m., right?
Correct.
Okay. So then go ahead. All right, I'm going to pause it here and just, can you identify on the screen, do you see there's like a refrigerator and a freezer?
Yes.
Okay, do you want to just Sure.
The refrigerator?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, just so that the jury knows what we're talking about. So that right there is the refrigerator, and the DVR system, you were informed, is on top of that, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Did you get it? Is it captured? All right, do you just mind hitting undo? Perfect, all right, let's keep going. I'm gonna pause it. We're at, what's our time?
D71.1.
Okay, we're at 32:18. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Is it fair to say, Miss Officer Marino, I'm sorry, is it fair to say that for the next few minutes, you and the other officers are kind of like walking around the garage and just, there's a ladder on the wall, right?
Yes.
And because the DVR is on top of the refrigerator, the ladder was removed so that Officer Bones could reach on top of the refrigerator? Do you recall that? Okay. All right, so we're gonna fast forward to 35 minutes. All right, so we're at 35:05. Okay, can we pause it for a second? Okay. Now this is are you reaching up there initially? Is that you? Your hand?
Yes.
Okay. And can we see now, it was the light on the garage, there was originally a light on in the garage, right?
Yes.
But then it gets dark, correct? Yes? And is that because the power got cut off at some point while the firemen were working or
I
something?
believe they shut the power for the house.
Okay, so it's now, just to clarify, we're only a few minutes later, but the power is off in the garage, right? And, so see where that blue cord is hanging down?
Yes.
Is that the top of the refrigerator?
I believe that might be next to the refrigerator.
That's next to the refrigerator? Okay.
No, that is the refrigerator.
That is the refrigerator.
Yeah.
We can see, because you're directing your flashlight to the top of the
Yes.
refrigerator, which is where the DVR is,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to fast forward again to 37 minutes. We're at 36:57. Now, it's a little blurry at the moment, but we just had the occasion to see on the left hand of the screen, is that Officer Bones?
Yes.
And we can see he's standing on a ladder, maybe it's a different ladder, he's sitting on a ladder
Yes.
and he's like leaning over the refrigerator trying to figure out which item is the DVR.
That and the wires too, because there's a bunch of wires. We had to make sure we got the correct wires for the power.
Okay, you wanted to make sure that when you got back to the police station with the DVR system, you had the correct wire to plug it in.
Correct.
Okay, all right. Okay. Did you see what Officer Bones just picked up there? Did it look like a power strip?
If you want to rewind it, I can try to look a little closer.
Just like.
I can't tell from that if it's a power strip or not.
Keep going.
Looks like maybe he's trying to hold a wire, but
Right there, what he
Yes.
grabs right there, it's in his hand. Does
that may be
look
a
like-
power strip from what it appears to be.
What about, do you remember whether it was a power strip?
No.
Were you paying any close attention as far as like what things were plugged into and where?
I was letting him handle it. I was kind of watching him, making sure he wasn't going to fall or anything.
Okay, there's no like outlets at the top of the wall there, right? That you can see?
But I'm aware of, I did not look for them.
Okay, well, you did say there's a lot of wires, right?
Well, a lot of wires that I had to take back to the car, a handful of wires at one point when we were watching the other body camera I spoke of.
The wires are from, like there's a lot of wires on top of the refrigerator? Is that
Yep.
what you're saying?
Well, it appears that way right here, but I'm only speaking about the wires I had in my hand. I don't know if there was 10 wires or 20 wires back there, so I
Okay,
don't know.
there's at least a few, is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay, and so do you know whether the outlets are like where they are specifically? Are they
No.
behind the fridge?
I do not know.
Okay, you don't know. And you didn't take note of that,
No.
right? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna, maybe this is good. No, let's fast forward. So I'm going to stop it at 37:32, and I'm going to fast forward to 38 minutes. That's good. 37:59. Who is that officer?
That's Redmond.
That's right.
Patrolman Redmond.
Okay, and in his hand, does he have the DVRs that were recovered, or?
Yes.
Okay, and now you're focusing on the wires at this point? Is that what's happening?
Yes. I believe he is getting the wires and coming down at this point, and we have one wire already.
And again, it's fair to say that this was like taking a little bit of time because there was a lot of trying to figure out what's what.
Yes.
What wire is what system is what belongs to what.
Yes.
We just kind of saw, I think that was in your hands, there was like a few different cords.
Yes.
And at this point, I think you and Officer Redmond are having a discussion about trying to figure out what wires potentially go to what ports in the system. All right, we're going to fast forward one more time to 38:30. Okay, 38:31. And we see Officer Bones again working on some wires, possibly a power strip.
Yep.
Okay. Is that Sergeant Malone?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, at this point, you've retrieved the DVR,
Yes.
right? And I think, again, from that last clip, would you agree with me that you can see that there's like a bunch of wires on top of the refrigerator,
Yes.
freezer refrigerator? And you didn't take note, all of those wires, you have no idea what was plugged into the wall versus a power strip versus anything else.
Correct.
And, can we fast forward 30 seconds? Now, I think we saw this in the state's exhibit. I'm just going to play it again. This is you now walking to your car, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I think you testified earlier, this is Chris Sorrentino, right?
Yes.
Okay. And is this, I know this is a blurry image, but he's not wearing like a baseball hat, is he?
Not that I see in this one.
Okay. And as an officer, it's not part of your uniform to wear a baseball cap, is it?
Only if we're wearing Class B uniforms,
And that's like if you're in street crimes?
or if you're doing a road job or something like that, or
Like
if inclement
undercover?
weather- inclement weather or something like that.
Inclement
It shows OTPD on it, has a patch.
Okay. Here, we've seen a lot of body worn camera footage. You're not wearing a baseball cap, right?
No, not. in
None
this
of the
uniform.
first responding officers were wearing baseball caps, right?
No.
And again, you can see he's not wearing the hat, right?
Yeah.
Is that where you had a conversation with another officer?
Yes.
And which officer was that?
That's Patrolman Bernhard.
That's Bernhard, okay. And, after you speak to Patrolman Bernhard, that's when you put the DVR in your vehicle,
Yes.
correct? Now, I think we're done. We can take off the video. So the purpose of again removing the DVR and taking it was to look at it and see if there's any evidence on it, right?
Correct.
Okay. Did you ever ask Mr. Caneiro or his wife or any of the residents of the home whether they had access to footage on their phones so that it could be looked at sooner?
I did not.
And the gas can that was in front of the garage, did you ever say to Mr. Caneiro or his wife or any of the family members, hey, can I take you over here and can you look at this and tell me if this is your gas can or not your gas can, or if you've seen this before?
No.
Okay. Ultimately, for the time you were on scene, which was 4.5 hours, did you have any involvement with this case after that?
No.
Okay, so you were on scene for about 4.5 hours, like approximately 5-ish to 9:30-ish, and that was it. Then you were done.
Yes, I went and wrote my report for the fire investigation. That was it.
Okay, and prior to you leaving, you had a conversation at one point we saw with Fire Marshal Flanagan.
Yes.
Were you relaying the suspiciousness to him after he arrived on scene? Like you were telling him about the gas can in the car and the things?
Yes, that's when I walked up, that was all getting explained to him, yes.
You had him at the like the area of the garage, right?
Yes.
And he was informed that it was a crime scene,
Yes.
right? Okay. And was he informed that like detectives were coming and the prosecutor's office was coming or not yet?
I'm not sure if we told him at this point.
You don't recall?
Yeah, I don't
That's
recall.
okay. All right. But it was made clear pretty early. I think Fire Marshal Flanagan got there approximately 5:30. Is that, I don't know, does that sound right?
The first time I see him is when we get to that garage scene where he's speaking.
And that was, do we have the
That's
times?
when I returned back from dropping off the DVRs in the vehicle.
And that's within the time frame of your body worn camera, so we
within
know
50
it's
minutes.
we know it's within the first 45, 50 minutes or so.
Yes.
And at one point, you're having a conversation with Officers Redmond and Bones, and you said, "I think it's messy." Do you recall saying that?
No, I'd have to see that in the transcript.
Sure.
please.
Okay, so I'm going to approach the witness with what's been marked for identification as D105. It is the transcript of body worn camera ending in 392647. Hello? So I'm going to hand you the transcript. Now, this isn't your body worn camera, but it's a transcript of Sergeant Malone's, and I'm just using it to refresh your memory, okay? And you'll see there's a legend on the front.
Yes.
And do you see DM stands for David Marino?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you to just flip to the last page. And just read, it's a half page. Just read that, and when you're done, let me know.
You want me to read who's saying what?
Oh, not out loud, just to yourself.
Okay, I see that, yes.
Okay. So having read that, do you recall that you, Officer Bones, that's JB, and DM is you and KR is Redmond, correct?
Yes.
So the three of you, and then there's another officer unidentified, you're having a conversation about the circumstances of the fire, correct?
Well, right above that, we were talking about, because the Bones said something along the lines of,
Objection.
Yeah, I'm not trying to elicit
Yeah, I'm
what
trying to-
specifically.
Can I hear the objection?
It's hearsay. He's about to read what Bones said.
Sustained.
Okay, yes, sir, I just wanted to see if this refreshed your memory as to just a more broad conversation about the fire.
it was broader because I'm also a few lines up talking about a TV show or something.
Okay,
So I don't know if that was pertinent to this right here or if it was something else, because then it also is, where you can see other things are being spoken about right now.
okay, well, I'm gonna direct your attention to what Officer Bones says here. Just read this one line.
Okay.
Okay, he's talking about the house, correct?
Judge, I'm going to object to the hearsay.
Sustained.
The subject of the conversation is the house fire, is that fair to say?
Well, I'm not sure.
It's still
if it's
hearsay, sustained. You're asking him what it says on there. It's sustained.
What is the topic of the conversation that you're having with the other officers?
Objection,
It's
Judge.
still sustained.
In referencing the fire, you say, "I think it's messy."
Again, I don't know if I was speaking about the fire or if I was talking about a TV show that I was talking about 4 lines above this. I'm not sure if I was referring to that or if I was speaking to one of these other officers or if I was speaking directly to Bones. I do not
Okay, so
recall
you're
that
saying
point.
you're unsure because a few lines above, you're mentioning a TV show, and then 2 lines later, Officer Bones mentioned something else, and you're not sure. I didn't say what the something else was.
we just talk to me. We don't comment to each other. I have made it clear that anything that Officer Bones may be talking about and or the topic and or insinuating the topic is hearsay. So therefore, I'm going to sustain the objection.
Okay. Sir, when you said it's messy, you're not sure today what you meant then, correct?
Correct.
Okay. But you did know, and you do agree that at this point in time, and when I say at this point in time, I mean while you're on scene, right? You had made several comments about the suspicious nature of the fire, correct?
Yes,
And we went through them before. We don't need to go through them again.
correct,
But you did make several remarks to other officers about how it was suspicious, right?
correct.
And what that means is that it was suspected that the fire was intentionally lit, right?
Yes, that
And
is
that's
a
why the
possibility.
Oops, sorry.
Yes, that is one of the possibilities. That's why we put the scene up and we made sure we kept it secure.
Which was at approximately 5:30 a.m., right?
Yes.
I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Redirect. All right, you can step down, sir.
Thank you.
State can call the next witness.
I'll give you your transcript back.
Judge Lemieux trying to keep him on track. There's quite a few sustained objections in a row there, all in regards to the information in the transcription there. Well,
Sir, just watch your step as you're going up to the witness stand. Once you get up there, if you can put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, once you're comfortable and seated, can you state your full name for the record and spell your last name, please?
Yes, it's Kevin, and the last name Redmond, R-E-D-M-O-N-D.
All right, thank you. Prosecutor?
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon, officer.
How you doing today?
Are you currently employed?
I'm retired.
Okay, when did you retire?
Retired November of this year.
And where did you retire from?
Ocean Township Police Department,
What did you do there?
police officer,
What was your title?
just patrolman,
Now, how long had you been a police officer for in total?
21 years.
Can you take us through the trajectory of your law enforcement career?
Sure, I was hired in '03 at Fort Monmouth Fort Monmouth Police Department. I went to Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, and then I was hired in 2005 at Ocean Township.
Okay, and did you have to go to the police academy?
Yes, for Monmouth County Police Academy for Ocean Township.
Okay. I want to draw your attention back to Tuesday, November 20th of 2018. Do you recall that date?
Yes,
Okay, were you working?
yes, I was.
What shift were you working?
7 p. to 7 a.m.
How were you dressed?
Patrol uniform,
And what were you driving?
Marc patrol.
Right. I want to draw your attention to about 5:02 a.m. on that morning. What, if anything, happened at that time?
I was dispatched for a smoke condition in the basement
In the basement of where?
of the residence at 27 Tilton Drive.
So you were dispatched to 27 Tilton Drive?
Correct.
Is that in Ocean Township?
Yes, it is.
Okay. If you know, how did that call first come in?
I came into county, I believe at 4:59 and then dispatched at 5:02 to patrols.
So what time did you arrive at 27 Tilton Drive?
Probably minutes later.
When you arrived, was there anybody else on scene?
Yes, the homeowners.
Okay. When you say the homeowners, who was that?
That was, it was Paul, Suzanne, their two daughters, Caitlin and Marissa.
Okay. And did you learn their last name at some point?
Caneiro, yes.
Okay. So when you arrived, you indicated that the homeowners were on scene. Was anybody else on scene?
Yes.
Who was that?
Firefighter Chris Sorrentino had arrived just moments before me.
When you say moments before you, when he arrived, do you recall where he was?
Yes, he pulled up, I believe right in front of me
Okay.
to the residence at 27.
Got it. Where did you park?
I parked towards the south on Tilton Drive, just past the residence.
Okay, so if you're facing the house, south would be which way?
If I was facing the house, I was to the right.
Okay, and where did firefighter Sorrentino park?
He pulled in towards the front of the residence, facing south.
Do you remember which side of the street he parked on?
I believe it was on the left side.
What kind of vehicle was he driving?
I'm not sure at that time.
And do you recall how he was dressed?
Plain clothes, came from his residence.
What was the first thing that you did when you arrived on scene?
I spoke to the homeowners to make sure everyone was out of the residence.
And was there any response?
They said yes.
Okay. And the homeowners specifically, I know you said they were across the street, but specifically where were they?
Directly across the street from 27th Tilton.
Were they
They were facing south.
in a car, outside of a car, or something else?
They were in a car.
Okay. And when you say you spoke to them, what did you say to them?
I just asked if everyone was out of the residence, and they said yes.
Were you able to see specifically who was in the car at that point?
No, I did not.
When you first spoke to the homeowners on scene when they were across the street in the car, was Patrolman Marino on scene at that point?
No, he was not.
When did he arrive?
He arrived a short time later, probably within minutes of me.
Now, did the homeowners stay where they were when you first saw them, or did they move at some point?
They moved further south. They were on Tilton Drive. They were facing their residence, but south of their residence.
Okay. And do you know, like, why they moved?
Just to have probably more room for the firefighters to set up the trucks.
Just to be, were they asked to move
Yes, they were.
by one of the officers?
By Marino, yes.
What were your initial observations when you first arrived on scene?
That there was smoke and fire coming from the southeast corner of the residence.
Okay, and you say the southeast corner, where would that?
That would be, if you're looking at the house, it would be the far right.
What, if any, further observations did you make of that area?
That just that there was a lot of smoke and fire. From there, I walked up toward the southeast corner where firefighter Chris Sorrentino was. He was trying to extinguish the fire with, there were water extinguishers, not the chemical kind.
Do you recall what the fire looked like at that point, or how high or low it was?
It was rolling from the basement all the way up to the soffit, to the roof.
When you were making these observations that morning, were you wearing a body-worn camera?
Yes, it was.
Okay, was it activated?
It was not.
Okay, why not?
I forgot to activate it just due to the actions of what was going on.
Did you later activate it at any
Yes, I
point on
did.
scene? Do you remember, like, about how long?
I don't recall.
Okay. Now, while you were making these observations, and just correct me if I'm wrong, did you indicate you were over near the fire?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Were any other officers standing near you?
Charles Wilkowski was
Okay.
standing next to me.
Do you know if he was wearing a body-worn
Yes, he
camera?
was.
Do you know if it was activated?
Exactly.
Okay. Did you have the opportunity to watch his body-worn camera prior to today?
Yes.
And what you watched on there, did that capture the observations that you initially made when you were standing next to him over by where the fire was?
Yes.
And when you reviewed it, was it a fair and accurate depiction of that? Yes,
It was.
okay. I'm showing council S76. So I'm showing you what's been marked as S76.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you if you recognize that.
Yes, it's the body-worn camera
Of who?
of Charles Wilkowski.
Judge, the state would seek permission to publish, this is specifically 76A, it would be clip 1, 12 seconds to 27 seconds.
The objection?
No. You pause it. Okay, who was that?
That's myself.
That's you, okay.
Yes.
And just tell us what side of the house you're on.
This is the southeast corner of the residence, if you were looking at the house.
Thank you. For the record, it's timestamp 3 seconds. Okay, thank you. Who is that?
That's Chris Sorrentino, firefighter.
Were there other portions of Officer Winkowski's body-worn camera that you watched?
Yes.
And did those portions capture yourself and observations that you made while you were standing near him that morning?
Yes, it did.
And did you had the opportunity to watch those prior to today?
Yes, I have.
Right, so we left off with you standing near the southeast corner of the house.
Right.
What happened after that? Where did you go?
I walked, I was looking for a fire hose, so I walked over through the backyard to a fence that led to the garage on the north side of the residence. I found a fire hose, I shouldn't say fire hose, a garden hose, but it had been winterized, and that was towards the back of the residence. It was located off the garage.
Why were you looking for the hose?
That was to help to suppress the fire.
Okay. When you went to look for the hose, so you were just looking at the body-worn camera, can you indicate which way you went?
And I would walk around through the backyard of where it was at, of the fire, towards the front of the house.
And I didn't hear you. Did you find a hose or no?
Yes, we did find a hose, yes, but it was winterized already. It had been turned off.
Okay. When you walked back there initially to find the hose, was Officer Winkowski near you at that
It
point?
was not, no.
Okay. Where do you go after you walk through the backyard and find the hose that's winterized?
I walked through the gate, which leads to the garage doors, into the driveway that leads out to Tilton Drive.
When you get over to the driveway, what, if any, observations did you make?
I noticed that the garage doors started opening, and I saw there was a small fire inside the garage.
When you're facing the garage, let me ask, how many doors are there to the garage?
There's two doors.
Okay, so 2 bays?
Yes,
Okay. When you first arrived at the garage, what was the condition of those doors?
they were closed.
Okay. When you say, you indicated a door opened?
Yes, they
Which one are
opened.
you referring to if
To
you're
the
facing?
left side door. Actually, they ended up both opening, but the left side opened first.
Okay. They ended up both opening at that point or earlier? Okay, so that it opened. And what did you observe when that door opened?
There was a small fire within the track of the left side garage bay.
Now, after that, do any officers come over near you?
Yes, Charles Winkowski.
Okay. And when he arrives near you, what, if anything, happens?
I had him, he had a handheld fire extinguisher, and he helped put out the fire that was there.
Were there any other observations that you made of that area after the fire was put out?
Yes, I found a gas can that had the burnt nozzle on it, and there was a white Porsche Macan that was in the driveway that had burn marks on it.
The white Porsche Macan, can you explain where that was located in relation to the garage bay doors?
That was parked in front of the left bay garage door.
Were those observations that you made over there, including the fire that you saw, was that captured on Patrolman Winkowski's body-worn camera?
Yes, it was.
When you watched it, did it fairly and accurately depict those observations?
Yes, it did.
At this time, the state would seek to play 76B. It's going to be timestamp 310 to 345.
Any objection? Okay.
Where are you located?
I'm located right there in front
Can you
of
pause
the
it,
garage
please?
bay.
Okay, so just to be clear, were you already standing there at that point that Patrolman Winkowski comes over and walks near you?
Yes,
Thank you, and that was timestamp 9 seconds. Who has the fire extinguisher?
that was Charles Winkowski.
What is the flashlight? What did that just shine on?
That one shined on the Porsche that was there.
Okay, can we just go back a little bit? I'm sorry, I think I should have asked to pause it. Pause it. This is timestamp 29 seconds. What are we looking at?
That's the gas can that I found that has the burnt nozzle on it.
Okay, thank you.
the way through.
After you made your observations that we just observed of the gas can, excuse me, did you notice anything else about that particular area?
That area now I don't.
Okay, did you make any observations about the garage door afterwards?
Just at the garage door were, they were an automatic, so someone had to push the button for the doors to open. They weren't a manual to lift from the exterior.
Did the doors stay open or?
Yes, they did.
Okay. Who, if anyone, did you notify regarding the observations that we just observed and that you made at the garage
That
area?
was Sergeant Malone. That was my shift supervisor.
Okay. Now, at that point, or shortly thereafter, was anyone else arriving on scene?
Yes, other patrolmen.
Other patrolmen? Okay. At some point, did you fire personnel and firefighters arrive?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Do you remember about how long afterwards?
I don't know, after probably within 5-10 minutes of the call, I would assume.
Now, subsequent to you making those observations, did there come a time when you spoke with the Caneiros, the homeowners?
Yes.
Okay. About how much time passed between the time you made those observations and spoke with the homeowners?
I would say approximately 15 minutes.
Okay. And where were they located when you spoke with them?
They were further down on Tilton Drive, facing north.
Were any other officers with you when you spoke with them?
Charles Minkowski was with me.
Okay. And what was your purpose in speaking with them?
We were to find out who was in the residence that evening.
Did you speak with them at that point?
Yes, we did.
Can you tell us about that, how that took place?
So we talked, we ended up speaking to them. They were standing outside the vehicle. And then the homeowner came over and I explained to the homeowners about the fire that I saw. And Paul responded to me when I asked him about the gas can, or where he keeps his gas cans. He stated that he keeps them in the shed that's located on the property.
And was there in fact a shed on the property?
Yes.
Okay, and did you later go over to that shed at some point?
Yes, we did.
Okay, and did you make observations about the shed?
Yes, I looked through the window of the shed and there was numerous red gas cans there.
Okay. I'm gonna get to that. I just wanna, I wanna ask you first, were the conversations that you had with Mr. Caneiro captured on Officer Winkowski's body worn camera?
Yes, they were.
Okay, and were they fair and accurate?
Yes, they were.
Judge, at this time, the state would seek to pass out transcript S-77 and, I'm sorry, S-77 and play S-76C, which is the body worn camera clip 15 minutes to 16 minutes and 36 seconds.
Any objection?
No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, remember what I said before as it relates to transcripts. We give you that as an aid. It's not something that if you disagree with whatever the transcript says, you're going to rely upon what you hear on the screen, okay? All right, thank you. We're going to hand those out now.
Judge, may I approach?
Sure. Thank you.
Right now, I think the transcripts have all been handed out.
Yep, go ahead.
Officer, can you just tell us what we're doing before you just go over what we're doing?
Okay, so we're looking at the homeowner's vehicle. which is now parked further down the street. If you're looking at the residence, it's further to the right, and it's parked on the same side as the residence, but facing north.
Thank you. That was timestamp, 3 seconds.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, all right.
Sorry, Judge, can we have these lights out? It's hard to see, there's a glare on this.
It's in the back, please. This place was dark before.
And one light was on before for some reason, I don't know.
Okay, I guess I can't.
Might be an ADL.
Can you see it, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
You got that section yourself.
Okay, who are we looking at on the screen?
This is Suzanne that's being spoken to, and Caitlin is to the right, and then Paul is to the left.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all. You guys are safe. You guys are good. You guys are good health. The house must be well, you know. Yeah. That's the main thing that you guys are right here. I'm sorry where it's at, and I got it. That was the first one. Whose room is on that back side? Yours. The fire alarm start going off first and everything. This is y'all being, I hope this next time it doesn't work like that. In reality, you're like, thank God it actually doesn't work.
Officer, after you had this conversation, who did you speak to?
To my sergeant, Jeff Malone.
And without telling us anything that was said, what, if anything, did you show your sergeant?
I showed him where the gas can was located. That was burnt,
Okay.
and where the fire was.
You went back over to the garage area?
Correct.
Okay, after you showed him that area, where did you go?
I went from there, I went to the back shed, and I peered through the front window, and then located that there were gas cans, red gas cans with numerous ones inside the shed.
Okay. Do you remember how many gas cans there were in the shed?
I would say at least 5.
Okay. Later on, do you show any other officers the gas cans?
Detective Christopher Brady.
What, if any, other observations did you make over by the shed?
That there was 2 blueprints. One was on like a blue paver stone, and another one was on like a ramp that goes to the back door of the shed.
What, if any, efforts were made to preserve the blueprints?
Yeah, it was. We tried to cover them, but it did not work.
What do you mean by that?
They were wet footprints, so as they were covered, they would dry up.
Now, while you were on scene that morning, what, if anything, was collected from the garage area?
There was a DVR that was located on top of the refrigerator that had surveillance footage.
Did you have a role in?
I just assisted with it, of them trying to retrieve it.
Eventually, was the Ocean Township on-call detective called at some point that morning?
Yes, that was Christopher Brady.
Okay, when he arrived, did you speak with him?
Yeah, I informed them of what I found so far, and what was going on.
And again, without telling me anything that anyone said, what did you and he do?
We checked the shed and found that the back door for the shed was unlocked. We opened it up, found where the gas cans were, and there was an empty spot where a gas can used to be. Here.
What if any other agencies arrived on scene that morning?
Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office, the Forensics Unit, Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office was advised of it, and Monmouth County Fire, I should say Marshal, responded also.
How long were you on scene for?
So about 7 o'clock, or 7 p.m. I should say, or a.m.
I'm going to show you what has been marked, and I'll show counsel first. Is S1A slide 6. Officer, do you recognize this photo?
Yes,
Okay, and what are we looking at here?
that's the driveway for the residence, 27 total.
Okay. Judge, permission to publish?
Any objection?
Officer, I just want to be clear, when you indicated earlier that you arrived into that area from around the back, like, can you just show us how you came over there after you looked for the garden hose?
Yes, right through the, there's a gate that's in between the hedges and the corner of the residence, behind the porches.
So you did you go all the way around the back of the house? And then
Yes, I did. I walked through the backyard.
Okay, and where were you when you saw that garage door open up?
I was standing pretty much at the corner of the residence.
And where was Mr. Caneiro located at that point?
He was, at that time, he either was across the street or he had already been moved south of there.
Okay, so you're not sure where the car is
So I
located?
don't know, yes.
Okay. That morning, did you make any observations about any fixtures on the house?
Yes, there were security cameras.
Do you see them in this picture?
Yes. They're in the front right corner of the residence.
Is that the only one you observed, or were there others?
There are others around the residence.
Do you recall where around the residence?
I do not know. I know they were around the front when we were originally looking at it.
Okay. Can you, the camera that you see, can you just put a circle around it?
Sure. There's also back left one.
Okay. Can we please preserve this?
Yeah, it'll be S1A slide 6.1.
Thank you. Could take that down once they print it. And then if you could just, I don't know if you know how to erase that on the screen.
I do not. Yeah.
Thank you. I have no
Sure.
further questions.
Cross?
Hi, officer. Sorry. Good afternoon. You mentioned that you were retired.
Yes.
At the time that this happened in 2018, how long had you been a police officer?
At the time, I was hired in 2005 at Ocean Township, so
13
13
years?
years roughly.
And you didn't work as a police officer prior to that anywhere else?
I did, yeah, at Fort Monmouth. I was there for 18 months,
A year and a half?
about a year and a half.
Okay,
yes.
so we're approaching 15 years or so by the time
Correct.
this happened. And I want to get a better understanding of like what exactly you did when you arrived on scene. So you testified that you, what time did you receive the call to respond to the scene the same time all of the other officers received the call?
Yes,
And that was at like 5:02?
correct, yes.
And that was through dispatch, right?
Yes, it was dispatched.
And you were the first patrol officer on scene,
Correct, yes.
right? And you arrived like literally moments after Chris Sorrentino?
I would say so, yeah, about that.
Okay, very close in time.
Correct,
And you were in a patrol car?
yes.
And you said you don't remember the car he had, right?
I don't remember the time. I couldn't tell you which, it was either SUV or a pickup truck. That's what they usually use.
Okay. And so you arrive on scene with Chris Sorrentino approximately at the same time as Chris Sorrentino.
Correct.
And the first thing you do is what?
I asked the homeowners if everyone was out of the residence.
Before you do that, do you go to the rear of the house?
No, I did not.
No. And so the very first thing you do is you just go up to the car that's parked in the street.
It's a street, yes. That's
And that has the Caneiros in it, right?
correct, yes.
And that's like a white SUV Porsche?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And the purpose of speaking to them at that point was just to make sure everyone was out of the house?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. Was that a brief conversation?
It was very brief, yes.
And after that, did you then go to the back of the house with Chris Sorrentino?
Yes, it did, yeah.
Okay. And so the two of you did you ever approach the front of the house or no?
I did not know.
Like the front door area?
No.
So you and Chris Sorrentino, so you go to the car, you speak with the Caneiros, then you and Chris go around to the back of the house together.
Correct.
And when you do that, you are doing what?
At that time, I was just looking where the fire was coming from. And
Okay.
he was at the time going to go and use the water cans, try to suppress the fire.
And where exactly have you walked through the gate now? Is that what we saw on the body worn
Yes.
camera? Can we actually, can we bring that up? It was S76A. Do you mind if that was a really short clip? Can we just? We could just pause it for 1 second. So that's you on screen, right?
Correct, yes.
And this means that when is it Wankowski?
Wankowski, yes.
He's here now, right?
Correct, he's
So
ready.
he's already on scene.
Yes.
Within a couple of minutes of you being there?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Because the only thing you've done so far is you parked, got out of your car, walked over to the Caneiro, spoke to them briefly, and now you're walking around with Chris Sorrentino and with Wankowski, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And you're walking through that's a gate, correct?
Yes, it's a gate to the backyard.
It's a gate to the back to go into the backyard area.
Yes.
Okay, can we play it again? We pause it. Now that's Chris Sorrentino, right?
Yes.
He's in plain clothes.
Yes, he
He's
is.
wearing like a hoodie,
Yes.
but he doesn't have a baseball cap, right?
No.
Okay. Can we keep playing it? Okay. Now at the very end of that clip, it looks like Wankowski is going back down the driveway, right?
Yes.
But you keep going around the back. Well, first, I want you to tell me, you're in the backyard area now, right?
Yes.
With Chris Sorrentino.
Correct.
And what are the two of you doing?
Chris is now going to start suppressing the fire with the fire extinguishers, and I walk around the back. There's like a patio you can kind of see.
Mhm.
I walked around that to try to see if there was a hose.
Okay. And when you, before you walked around the back, while Chris Sorrentino is trying to extinguish obviously he only had like a handheld extinguisher, right?
Yeah,
We were gonna need more than that.
Correct, yes.
But he was trying to do what he could do at the time. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. And how long would you say you stood there with Chris Sorrentino before you continued around the backyard?
I would say a couple seconds. Once, I saw that he was using the fire extinguishers. That's when I walked around looking for the fire hose.
So
Or I should say fire hose, the garden hose.
just a few seconds is what you're saying?
I'm going to say roughly, yeah.
Okay. if you don't mind, is this 1-14?
S1A14.
S1A14. Oh, now this is a photograph that was taken after the fire is out, right? Obviously, the fire was still going when you were there at first.
Correct, yes.
And it's daylight here, but when you arrived on scene, we saw in the video, it was very dark out, right?
Very, yes.
But do you recognize this back area that you just referenced?
Yes,
So the area that's like the darkest, right? That's when you first, we can see the gate in the photo, right?
correct, yes.
That's all the way to the left. I'm
Yes,
gonna
it is.
point here at the left of the photo. For the record, I'm just like pretty much midway down at the very end. This is the gate here, you agree?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and then this area here, is this where Chris Sorrentino and you were initially?
Yes, it was.
And this is where he was with the fire hydrant.
Yes,
You then keep going this way,
correct.
around the back of
Around
the
the back,
house.
yes, around the deck.
Okay, thank you. And you keep going and eventually you find a hose.
Yes, a garden hose.
And the garden hose, you were hoping you could use to help with the fire,
Correct,
but it
yes.
had already been winterized.
Yes.
So it was useless?
Useless, yes, it was turned off.
Okay. After you find the garden hose, then what do you do?
I walked over to the corner outside, it goes outside the gate, which was on the other photo.
Yes, can we put up 15A, S1A15? This is we're looking at S1A15. You continue to recognize this as the back of Mr. Paul Caneiro's house?
Yes,
And that's, we saw like, that's the deck, right?
correct,
But now we can see more of it on the right side of it.
yes,
And specifically, I'm just gonna point here, this area, for the record, I'm halfway down the screen and all the way to the right, there's a second gate on this side,
yes,
right? And these are the Porsche cars in the driveway,
correct,
and that's because like the garage is this lower part here.
that's correct,
Or, is that right?
that is correct.
Okay. So you're walking through that gate.
Yes,
Is that what you're doing?
correct,
Okay. And then you end up at the garage.
yes,
And Winkowski, he is with you the whole time, or he meets back up with
he
you there?
meets back up with me, probably moments later.
Moments later. So he's going around like the front?
Yes, he must have went back to his patrol car because he didn't have a fire extinguisher at the time. So he must have went back to get a fire extinguisher and he came back to the front of the residence, through the front of the residence, through the driveway and then up to where I was at.
Okay. So if I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying at the time that you separated with Winkowski initially, which we saw at the tail end of that body worn clip where you're
Right.
coming through the gate on the other side, he did not have a fire extinguisher.
No, I don't
Okay.
think so, no.
So you walk around the back, you go through that gate, and by the time Winkowski comes up with you, he now has a fire extinguisher.
Yes, he does.
So you're surmising he retrieved it.
Correct.
Okay. Now, everything that I've stated so far,
Mhm.
right? Just to recap, you arrive on scene, you speak with the Caneiros, you come around the fire side of the house, go through the gate. You're there for a few moments while Chris Sorrentino is putting the fire out. You continue to walk around, and then you end up at the garage and meet back up with Winkowski with the fire extinguisher. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Are we missing anything that happened in between, or is that
No,
best of your recollection
that's
exactly what
my
happened?
recollection, yeah, that's.
Okay. So at no point in time were you in the driveway on this side? Is that Marilyn Klein's driveway? Are you familiar with it?
I don't know who she is.
Okay, a neighbor's driveway.
Okay,
At no point in time were you just crouching down watching the fire?
no,
Okay. And we saw you weren't wearing a baseball cap, right?
no, it's not.
And so you get to the garage area, and now you see a small fire.
Correct.
And thank you. Take the photo now. We see you and Wenkowski are the only two that see the small fire at first?
Yes,
Or I guess, are you the only two that see the fire ever because you then put it out?
he put it out, yes.
Okay. So of course you're not going to let the fire burn while you go get another officer to look at it. You're going to put it out.
Put it out, correct.
Okay. So, and you said you saw the garage door was like rising at that point?
Correct, yes.
Okay. And so you see the small fire, you tell Wenkowski to hit it with the fire extinguisher?
Yes,
And then you notice a few other things in the area too.
yes,
Okay. And what you noticed was the gas can,
yes.
and it's a smaller gas can?
Yes, it's on the smaller side.
Okay. Do you know like exactly how big it is or no? And that's
I don't know how many gallons it was, no.
Okay.
I don't remember.
You just know relatively speaking it's smaller.
Correct, yes.
And did you notice it had a burnt nozzle?
Yes.
Did you say that? Okay. And then in addition to that, did you see you saw the burn marks on one of the Porsche vehicles?
Yes,
Okay. And you also did you see gasoline splatter or anything like that?
I did not know.
No, okay. Did you see anything else in that area that I haven't mentioned?
No.
Okay. Now, once you saw these items, you told your sergeant on scene, right?
Yes,
Was that like the next step?
yes,
Okay. And just to be clear, the sergeant is like your supervisor?
yes, it
He
is.
ranks higher than you, so to speak?
Yes, he does.
Okay, so that's why you're reporting it to him,
Correct,
because he's your supervisor. So you report it to is it Sergeant Malone?
yes,
And then at some point, you show it to him?
yes.
Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And when you show Sergeant Malone the items, you're showing it to him, why? Like, why is it important?
Because there shouldn't be a gas can located there.
It's suspicious.
It's suspicious,
That's
correct.
fair to say, right?
Yes,
So within the first 10 minutes or so, maybe 5 minutes or so that you're there, and this happened pretty quickly, right?
correct.
Within the first, like, can we say first 5 minutes? Is that fair? Or am
Yeah,
I?
that's probably correct.
Within the first 5 minutes that you're there, you see this gas can right on the ground, you see the fire, you see the burn marks in the car, and it is suspicious.
Correct.
Now, at some point, relatively soon thereafter, Sergeant Malone directs a crime scene to be set up.
Yes,
Is that right?
that's correct, yes.
Okay, and what that means is, one of the things that Sergeant Malone does is he decides to set up crime scene tape, or have one of the officers set up crime scene tape.
Yes,
And that blocks off the area of where the gas can in the garage was, right?
that is correct, yes.
Okay. And the purpose of that is to make sure that the area is not disturbed.
Yes, correct.
And that's because there's potentially now evidence there.
Yes,
And in addition to the crime scene tape, was there like officers establishing a presence in
Yes,
that area?
there was.
And that just means, and tell me if I'm wrong, that there's multiple officers in the area of where it's taped off to kind of serve as like a second barrier to anyone potentially coming in and disturbing the scene.
correct,
Just to protect the scene, basically.
yes,
And so would you agree with me, or tell me if it's different, that the crime scene tape it started to happen at approximately 5:30 in the morning,
I would say yes, so it's probably around that time.
around that time? And is it fair to say that the reason that there's a little bit of a time gap, like because we said you found these suspicious items within 5 minutes, you wanted to inform your sergeant, and then about another maybe 20 minutes later or so, it becomes a crime scene. Is the reason that there's a little bit of a gap is because for a little bit, Sergeant Malone was more concerned about the big fire?
That is correct.
Okay. And in addition to, you testified about this on direct, in addition to the suspicious items that you found right in front of the garage area, you also found wet boot prints in the back shed area.
Correct.
Okay, so I want to talk about those if we can. I'm gonna show the state some photos.
No. Judge, may I approach with, I have some photographs that have been marked as, and I apologize, the numbers are not all consecutive. It's D1-40, D1-41, D1-80, D1-79, D1-20, D1-19, D1-21 rather, and D1-18, D1-17, and D1-16. May I approach?
Yes, you do.
All of the exhibit numbers, I'm just gonna go through these with you. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you D140. Is this a photograph of the shed?
That is not,
This is not, is this? This is not the back of the shed? This is the
I'm sorry, this is the back of the shed, I'm sorry. I thought this was, you're showing me the front. No, this is the back.
Okay, this is the,
Because there's a window in the front.
right.
Right, that's why, yes.
That's okay.
That's the
Because
rear.
this is Mr. Caneiro's house here, right?
Correct, yes,
And this is the gate, and then this is the shed?
yes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna orient you. So we agree this is the back of the shed?
Yes, it is.
And we can see the back of the shed has stones?
Yes,
Now, this would be the front of the shed with, this is another photograph of the back of the shed, right?
yes.
Can you tell us what you're looking at, sir?
Sorry, this is D141. And then D116 is kind of just a closer, it's a more zoomed in version of that,
Yes,
of the shed, of the
Yes,
back
it
of the
is.
shed. Okay, now, the boot, there's two boot prints that you saw,
correct.
right? And one was on one of these pavers?
Yes, the one that has the white bucket on it.
That
most
was
likely
put on
where-
top.
Correct, try to preserve it.
And before it was put on top,
What slide was that you're looking at, sir? The one that you're talking about, the
this
papers?
is D1-16. I'm gonna publish them momentarily. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page. And then D121, is this a photograph of that stone before the bucket was placed on it, like someone,
Yes.
or after,
It was
rather,
When
after?
it was removed, yes,
And the reason I'm correcting myself and saying after is because this is daylight.
correct.
And at the time that you found the boot print, it was
It
dark
was
out.
Dark,
It was
correct.
very early. There was a second boot print and it was it on the wood? Is this the
Yes.
second boot print?
Correct,
Is this a zoom in of that?
yes,
Okay. So one was preserved, but one was not.
correct.
So I'm gonna publish, I'm just gonna publish D116. Okay, so I'm now publishing D1-16, and Officer, you agreed that this was a photograph of the back of the shed,
That's correct.
right? And
we can see the gate on the left-hand side,
Yes, it's part of the gate, yes.
and then like there's more gate on the right-hand side.
That is correct.
Okay. And what was under this paver stone was a wet boot print that you observed.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. In an effort to try and preserve the boot print, this white container was placed on top of it.
Yes,
And do you know who placed the white container on it?
I did.
You did. Where did you find the white container
I
from?
believe it was on the side of the back of the shed there.
Okay, so the container actually belonged to the property owner, to
Yes.
Mr. Caneiro?
Caneiro,
Okay,
yes.
and you took it to try to preserve the boot print. And then I'm gonna publish D121, which this is the daytime photograph of, once the bucket was lifted, this is what was left of there's no boot print left on the stone.
Correct.
Right? And we can kind of tell that, like, the other ones are a little bit wet, this one's dry because I had the bucket on it, but the boot print's gone.
Yes,
And the other boot print was this one on the in front of the shed somewhere.
yes, it is. Yeah, it's
On
on like
wood.
the wooden ramp.
Yeah,
It's in the back of the shed.
and this one was like a smaller boot print, like this one's small.
Yes,
Okay, because this one was measured, right?
I'm assuming so.
Well, only if you know.
No, I don't
You
know.
don't-
I didn't process it,
Okay.
so I don't know.
So you're not sure?
I'm not
Okay,
sure.
that's fine. But, so you never measured this boot print,
I did not know.
and you never measured the boot print that was wet on the stone?
No.
Mastellone, can you just tell us what that last picture was,
I'm
please?
sorry, this last one was D1-79. Okay. And just so we're, the rest of these photos that I showed you, they were just like different zoom in, zoom out versions of the ones we showed, right?
Yes.
Nothing different in these.
No.
Okay. So now is it fair to say, so the combination of like what you saw by the garage and the boot prints, these are things that are suspicious.
Correct, yes.
And then you have a conversation with Mr. Caneiro. This is your second conversation with him if you include the very short initial one where you were just like, is everyone out? Are you okay?
Yes,
Right.
that's correct.
And so I'm gonna turn to that. All right. So we saw the video of you having the conversation with Mr. Caneiro,
Yes.
right? And the way the conversation starts is you ask them how they're doing, right?
Correct.
You ask them who lives in the residence. Is that right?
Yes.
They indicate to you it's the four of them,
Yes.
plus their two dogs.
Yes.
And those are the only people who were in the house, is what they indicate to you,
That is correct.
right? There's no other people that were in the house at the time.
No.
And you informed them that there was a fire over by the garage door.
Correct.
And you explain it's like a tiny fire by the garage door.
Very, yes.
And you also say it's like the opposite side of where I was at when I got here. I was the first one around back. Do you remember saying that?
I must have said it. If it's in there, yeah.
Do you want to see a copy of the transcript of the video we saw? Or I can play the video, it's up to you.
Yeah, I would have to look at it again.
Okay, I'm gonna, do you have access to the transcript?
Officer, I'm just gonna approach you. It's been marked as S77. This is a transcript of the short, body worn camera clip we saw from Officer Wenkowski. You see it has his name on it as the body worn camera owner.
Correct.
There's a legend on here where CW is Wenkowski, KR is Patrolman Redmond.
Yes.
And then there's KC for and SC and PC for the Canaros.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm just going to direct your attention to this line here. And again, the video was played. You indicate, you're talking about the fire by the garage door, tiny fire. It's like on the opposite side of where it was at when I got here. I was the first one around back.
Yes.
Okay. And that's because you were, as far as you know, the first one around
First
back.
one, yeah, that was the first one there, yeah.
Okay. And that's why you saw the fire first.
Correct.
So at that point, you're making some small talk, is that fair?
Yes.
And then Mr. Paul Caneiro explains to you that he pulled the car out,
Yes.
right? And Susan, his wife, says the same thing. He pulled the car out. Okay, wait. Yes, she says the same thing. He pulled the car out,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
So both Paul and Susan say they pulled the car out. Did you understand that to mean the garage or something else?
Either, I honestly, I don't know. I don't know if it meant that he pulled it out of the driveway or the garage. I'm not sure.
Okay. Can we just put up S? Oh, yeah, right. Okay. Would you agree with me, sir, that these two cars here are blocking this garage door?
No.
If for a car to fit out of it?
You can get a car to fit out of that. Yes. There's plenty of room.
You're saying with this car here, you could pull a car out of it?
No, not the one that's open, but the one that's closed, you can definitely get a car.
Right, yeah, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
I'm
Let me
sorry.
be more clear.
I'm sorry.
Would you agree that these two cars here are blocking the left garage
Yes,
bay?
yes, it is.
Right, but the right garage bay there's plenty of room to pull a car out of that one.
Correct, yes.
Okay, so if Mr. Caneiro had pulled a car out of the garage, we would be referencing the right side.
Yes.
And the left side is where the fire was,
That is
correct?
correct, yes.
The corner, you can't see it in that photo because the car's blocking it.
Yes.
Now, the next thing is you ask, where was the gas can?
Yes.
Okay. And when you say the gas can, you don't explain which gas can you're talking about, right?
No, I did not.
You're just saying the gas can?
Correct.
Okay. But in your mind, were you referencing the one you found?
Yes.
Okay. And so Mr. Caneiro's response is the gas can in my shed, right?
Correct.
And you say in your shed it is, and he says, yeah, I keep my gas cans in my shed. Okay?
Yes.
Is that right?
Correct.
So you never say to Mr. Caneiro, hey, we found a gas can right in front of your home. Do you have any idea why that's there?
No.
And you don't bring Mr. Caneiro to the area to show him, do you?
No, I did not.
Okay. So you were just asking about a gas can, and then you learned as a result that Mr. Caneiro typically keeps the gas cans in the shed.
That's correct.
You did not ascertain whether that specific gas can
was or was not his.
That is correct.
And after that, you go to the shed.
Yes,
Is that right?
correct.
And backing up, actually, when you asked him about the gas can, the purpose of asking him that was to see if the gas can was his or someone else had planted it there.
It was to find out if it was his or someone else planted it. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
Okay, so you were wondering if he had left the gas can there or if someone else had planted
That
it there.
planted it, correct.
And, but he wouldn't, Mr. Caneiro, do you agree with me that Mr. Caneiro wouldn't be able to assist you with informing you whether it's his gas can or not if you never asked him, is this your gas can?
That's correct.
Okay. But when you did ask him, he had no idea what you were talking about, and he said, my gas cans are in the shed.
That is correct, yes.
Objection.
What's the objection now? It's a little late.
I can rephrase it, Judge.
No, you don't have to rephrase it. If they're late and he answers it, so be it. That's the answer.
Clearly, from the conversation, he didn't know which gas can you were referencing.
No.
It's not identified.
No.
So you then go to the shed.
Yes,
And when you go to the shed at first, you just peer in through the windows on the front of the shed,
yes,
and you do see that there are gas cans in there.
yes,
And eventually, you go back to the shed a second time, right?
that is correct.
And this time you're with Detective Brady.
Yes,
So Detective Brady had arrived on scene.
yes, he did.
And just to orient ourselves timeline-wise, you were on scene from approximately 5 a.m. to approximately 7 a.m.
Yes,
So 2 hours
Yes.
total. And that's because your shift ended at 7?
yes,
And so this would mean then that Detective Brady had gotten there before 7 a.m.
yes,
Now, Detective Brady is obviously a detective with your police department,
yes,
and you're a patrol officer.
correct.
So detectives are called out to the scene when there's, let's just say, more investigation. Is that fair to say?
Yes,
Okay. So Detective Brady responds within a 2-hour time period, and the two of you go to the shed, correct?
yes,
At this point in time, the two of you check to see if the shed is locked or not, and it's unlocked.
yes, the rear door is unlocked.
So you go back around. So did you check the front door
I believe
first?
we checked the front and it was locked.
And then you went around to the back.
Yes,
Also, again, just to orient ourselves, we now know that there's a door in the front of the shed and a door in the back of the shed.
yes,
And on one side, and if you need a photo to refresh your recollection, just let me know. But on the front side of the shed, right, it's facing into the backyard.
yes,
And the back side of the shed is like on the other side of the gate.
correct.
So in other words, if you wanted to get, because the gate goes all around the yard.
Yes,
And if you wanted to get from inside of the gate to outside of the gate, one option is to walk through the gate, right?
yes,
And we saw in that photo earlier that there's on both sides of the house, one being where the fire is and the other being closer to the garage, there's like a gate door.
correct.
So you could use that gate door to go in and out.
Yes,
But also, because the shed has 2 doors, potentially you could go in through one door and out the other and vice versa.
yes,
Now, the back door was unlocked.
correct.
Okay. So then you and Detective Brady go into Mr. Caneiro's shed
Yes,
and you start looking to see if there's gas cans in there.
yes,
And do you recall that there were sort of 2 sets of gas cans?
yes.
Like there were 2, tell me if I'm wrong, 2 by the back door?
There should have been, they were pretty much lined up.
There were
Yes,
3
yes.
lined up.
Correct.
Let me see if I can get it.
I don't know if you have a picture.
I think I do, if I just have a moment.
I'm looking at the jurors. I think it's a good time for a break. I'm going to give you guys your mid-afternoon break. Please don't discuss this case or do any research.
Okay, so we're going to take the afternoon break. We've heard from a lot of police officers on the scene of the Ocean Township fire. And we've had direct and cross, kind of asking the same questions repeatedly, but Judge Lemieux did
Are we done
make
with the
another
transcripts?
comment about that.
15.
So we'll be back in 15 minutes. Well-deserved break. Everybody get a good stretch in. And we shall return. Okay, we should be coming back from break very soon, or within the next minute or two. I'm thinking about the testimony a lot. I wonder what you guys are thinking. If you're watching this later, for replay crew and all of that, please hit the comments and let me know what you think is going on. I answer all the comments, and I really want to know what you think of some of this testimony. And, you know, how do you feel about the attorneys? Their styles, you know? Every attorney has a different style, you know. There's usually the same type of procedure, you know, from the prosecution. They have to prove their case, lay out all the other, do an accurate timeline, piece all the evidence together for the jury. And in the defense, well, they don't really have to prove anything. Well, what they like to do is just, you know, pick at the evidence. I don't mean pick, but put questions that may put doubt about the accuracy or the thoroughness in this, especially in the law enforcement investigations. That's usually the first tactic, okay? These particular defense attorneys, both Mastellone and Murray, came on in February of 2025. And since then, there's been an ongoing battle about what evidence to be excluded. They tried to have a dismissal based on the length that it took for this trial to come to fruition. And they did get scope as far as what the arson and ballistics were allowed the experts to allow to speak on. There is also a back and forth about each expert witness, as we saw with Detective Bassender, on whether she could be listed as an expert in financial because of her background and everything, which Judge Lemieux, after hearing everything, decided that she could testify as an expert, which means she could expand on the information that she was giving. With the ballistics and the arson experts, they're going to have to keep it to the two fires and similarities, and they're going to have to be explicit on evidence that they're finding, how they tested it, how they're coming to their conclusions. The judge was very clear in his orders in previous hearings about that scope and about them being extremely more specific about things. We heard in the opening statement from Nicole Wallace about the barrel of the gun, and that's going to come up in the ballistics.
Everybody can be seated. Thank you. Continue the cross.
Township first. And we're back.
Officer, I'm going to first approach you with, I've shown these photographs to the state. I'm going to first approach with D1-30. Now, do we recognize this photo to be the front of the shed?
Yes.
Okay. And there's no wood in front of the shed, right?
No, there's not.
So both boot prints were in the back.
Correct.
Okay. And we can see in this photograph the gate on both sides, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to publish this one so the jury can see. So, sir, you just indicated that this is the back of the shed.
That's the front of the shed.
I'm sorry, correct. This is the front of the shed.
Yes,
And there's the front door and the windows.
correct.
And this is what you had originally looked through.
Yes,
And by comparison, I'm just going to briefly show what's already been published as D-1-16. This was the back of the shed.
correct.
And we can see the gate on both sides, right?
Yes,
And similarly, when we look at the front of the shed, we can see the gate on both sides.
correct.
It's a little darker here, but you can see it, right?
Yes,
And so again, like you could go in, you could get in and out of the backyard through, there's like a gate entrance on this side, I think? Or is it? No, maybe it's this side, right?
I believe so.
Okay. Or you could go from the front to the back door.
Correct.
Sir, do you actually remember where the gate is, or are you just guessing?
I'm assuming.
Don't assume, sir.
Okay.
Only testify to what you know, please.
Sir, I'll show you this photograph again. This is D-1-16, and this is the Caneiro home, right? This is where the garage area is,
Correct.
because this is the back of the shed, right?
Yes,
And you had previously indicated you went through this gate when you were coming around the backyard into the, or was that a different gate actually?
It was a different
That was a
gate.
different gate, okay. Do you recall that there's a door here?
no, not on the right side.
Okay, that's fine.
On the left.
So the front of the shed, and let me just ask you this, we talked about boot prints. Do you recall anything about a handprint on any doors?
No,
Okay. But you did go into the shed and you saw some gas cans.
correct.
So I'm going to approach with what's been marked as D-1-15, D-1-29, 1-28, 1-27, and 1-26. This date has no objection to these photos.
That's correct, Judge, there are photos.
Okay, sir, I'm gonna first show you D-1-15. Are these two gas cans that you recognize from inside of the shed?
I don't recall.
Let me show you this one first. This is D-128. Do you recall those photos?
Yes, I
So
do.
those are the ones we were referencing earlier.
Yes,
Right? Now, do you see like here, these are like stacked chairs?
correct.
Here's a better photo.
Yes,
You agree? And that's D-120, that's D-1-27. Here's another photo where you can see it even better, D-1-26, right?
correct.
Now, here in this photo, this is 1-15. You can see the other side of those chairs?
Yes,
And there's two more gas cans.
correct.
Okay, so in total, did you observe these 5 gas cans at
Yeah,
the time?
Yes,
Because you were inside of the shed,
Yes,
right? Do you
yes.
think you would have missed these? Or you think you would have saw them at the time?
I don't recall.
You don't know.
No,
Okay. But you definitely saw these 3.
correct, yes.
Okay, let's start with these 3. So I will publish D-1-27. And just so we're clear, I showed you a few different photos of pretty much the same thing.
Correct.
Just like slightly different angles.
Different angles, yes.
Okay. So D-1-27 is, these are the 3 gas cans that you today recall seeing in the shed at the time,
Correct,
right? And these are the ones that you had, you testified about these earlier, right?
yes,
That you noticed there's like these 3 gas cans and then it looks like there's a space here,
correct.
right? Okay. And did you ever measure this space?
No, I did not.
I'm just gonna show D-1-28 which is just a more zoomed in. So you can see the gas cans, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now these are larger gas cans.
Yes, they are.
Fair to say. When I say larger, I mean relative to the smaller gas can that you saw in the front lawn,
Correct.
or I should say by the garage area.
Yeah, right.
Okay. These two. zoom in. Now, because the size difference of the gas cans at the time was something, and when I say size difference, I mean the 3 larger gas cans compared to the 1 smaller one. That's something that you noticed at the time, right?
Yes, their sizes, yes.
And you even said, I don't know if that's even his. You said that to another officer when you were discussing these gas cans.
Correct.
And you were referencing the size difference.
Correct.
Like one did not look like the others type
Yes.
thing. Okay. And again, there's really no question at this point, right? Like by the time you leave, let's say at 7 a.m., there's no question that this is suspicious, right?
Correct.
That this could be an intentional fire.
Yes.
This could be arson.
Yes.
And this is something that officers, including yourself, this was a topic of discussion
Yes, it was.
while everyone was on the scene trying to investigate and deal with the fire and figure out what was happening.
Yes, it was.
Okay. And there's some comments that you made that are indicative of how this is suspicious. One of those comments was someone doused the area purposely. That's a comment you made to Officer Wenkowski, correct?
Correct.
Another comment was said to Officer Bones and Fire Marshal Flanagan. You said they doused the car with it, meaning gas.
Yes, correct.
Another comment is someone tried to douse the car and that was made to Officer Marino.
Yes, probably.
Okay. Another comment was they put gasoline all over the car and that was said to Officer Bones and Officer Malone, correct?
Correct.
You said to a firefighter, it's possibly arson. Do you
Yes.
recall that? Okay. And when you were speaking to another officer, specifically Wenkowski, about the second fire, because it was suspicious that there was 2 different fires in 2 totally different areas, you said that right there shows that it looks like someone started it, right?
Correct.
Okay. And at that point, if it was intentionally set, if it wasn't arson, another thing you said was, but who was his enemies? Do you recall saying that?
I don't recall, but I might have.
Okay. Do you want me to show you a transcript to refresh your recollection?
Sure.
Okay. We're almost done here. Sorry. A lot of transcripts. I'm going to approach what's been marked with D105 just to refresh your recollection. DU-105. This is a body-worn camera transcript of Sergeant Malone. Okay, and there's a legend here, so you can see that Patrolman Redmond, that's you?
Yes,
You're KR.
correct.
Okay, so I'm going to direct your attention to page 16. And then you maybe read that page. You could go a little bit before, a little bit after for context if you need it. And at the bottom of the page is the part I'm referencing.
I see what you're referencing.
Okay, so in the context of this might be an arson, someone might have lit Mr. Caneiro's house on fire, you pose the question, but who is his enemies, right? Meaning, is there anyone who'd want to cause harm to Mr.
Answered.
Question answered.
I'm sorry. If she talks, I have to respond if you don't mind. It was asked and answered, but I'll allow him to answer it again. Go ahead, just to be clear. Do you remember the question?
No, I don't. No.
In the context of discussing arson, you posed the question. In the context of discussing potential arson against Mr. Caneiro at his home, you posed the question, but who was his enemies? Meaning, like, who would want to cause harm to Mr. Caneiro? It's just an open-ended question
Question, correct.
that you asked, right?
Yes,
Okay. And you were talking to some other officers at the time,
yeah, I was, yes,
including Officer Bones. That's the JB.
yes,
And looks like a firefighter.
yes.
Okay, we don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is,
Right.
no.
Okay. One last question. One last topic, I should say. At some point, so we talked about, you only had 2 conversations with Mr. Caneiro, correct?
That's correct.
The first one was very brief. It was just, is everyone out of the house?
Yes,
Am I characterizing that correctly?
correct.
The second one was a little bit more in depth. It was mainly, I guess, about the gas can.
Yes,
That was the purpose of the conversation.
yes.
Okay. And you never had a conversation with Mr. Caneiro about any injury on his hand, did you?
No,
Okay. But at some point, you do tell Fire Marshal Flanagan that Mr. Caneiro has a burn mark on his hand. Do you recall that?
I don't recall that.
Okay, I'm just gonna show you one more thing to refresh your recollection. And I apologize, I just need one moment. So I'm just going to approach you with what's been marked as D103. This is another transcript of one of the body worn cameras. It doesn't actually say it, but I believe this is Officer Marino because we can identify it by the number.
Okay.
This one also has a legend, right?
Yes, it does.
And on the legend, you're again KR. Okay. So I'm just going to direct your attention to page 28 of 36. One second, this is not the same. Do you have the transcript of 7.4?
No, I'm sorry.
So, I got it. I'm going to direct your, this is the same exhibit. I'm going to direct your attention to page 28. And if you want to look at the legend again, FMF is Fire Marshal Flanagan. Okay. And so this is a conversation. If you want to read it to yourself, I'm going to direct your attention to like this area here and specifically this line.
Okay.
Okay, so during the course of a conversation with Fire Marshal Flanagan, you tell Fire Marshal Flanagan that Mr. Caneiro has a burn mark on his hand.
Correct.
But you had no firsthand knowledge of that, correct?
I don't remember.
Like, well, you never saw Mr. Caneiro's hand or talked to him about it?
No, I knew he had an ice pack on it, and I was talking to other officers, but I don't remember what.
So at some point, maybe someone told you that, but you were relaying it to Fire Marshal Flanagan, but you testified before you never discussed Mr. Caneiro's hand injury with him, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And just to be clear, when you're talking about Mr. Caneiro, you referenced him as the father, right?
Correct, yes.
And that's because in the family of the Caneiros, Paul Caneiro is the father.
My father, yes.
Right, okay. I don't have anything else, thank you.
Go ahead.
Sir,
Correct.
so you were asked on cross-examination, the question, Mr. Caneiro would not know which gas can you were referring to if you didn't tell him. Do you recall that?
Yes,
And I think you said yes.
correct.
Okay, well, if Mr. Caneiro was in fact the person who left the gas can there, then wouldn't he know which gas can you were referring to?
Yes,
I have nothing further.
So if Mr. Caneiro lit the fire, he would know which gas can you were referring to. That's what the prosecutor just said, and you said yes, right?
yes,
But Mr. Caneiro didn't know which gas can you were referring to because he said the gas cans, they're in my shed, correct?
Objection, speculation.
They opened that door, Judge.
Can I see both of you?
Okay, well, now there will be a discussion on whether the door is open or not. Paul Caneiro signaling whether or not he can hear. Now he can hear. and whether the questioning, this line of questioning, will be okay. I'm curious where he's going to go with this one. I actually, my immediate thought is that he's going to go with the defense on this and say the door is open. And prosecution often waits too long to do an objection. And also, you can't have it both ways. But we'll see. They should be back shortly. Hopefully this one doesn't take very long.
During your discussion with him, we already know, because we talked about it, Mr. Caneiro did not know which gas can you were referencing. When you mentioned the gas can, he said, they're in my shed, correct?
Correct.
Anything else?
No, Judge.
You can step down, sir. State and call the next witness.
Thank you, Judge. The state calls Officer Bernhard.
All right. Moving on to witness number 10.
Sir, just watch your step for me. Once you get up there, can you put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, once you get comfortable, can you state your full name for the record and spell your last name, please?
More law enforcement.
Officer Brendan Bernhard, Bernhard.
Okay. Prosecutor?
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon, Officer. Where are you employed?
With the Ocean Township Police Department,
How long have you been with Ocean Township Police Department?
11 years,
And how long have you been a police officer for in total?
since 2012.
Were you with Ocean the whole time?
I was not. I previously worked for, as a special officer with the Long Branch Police Department and then with the Monmouth University Police Department.
Okay. And prior to that, did you have to go to the police academy?
I did.
And how long was that for?
4.5 months,
Which one did you go to?
the Monmouth County Police Academy.
I want to draw your attention back to November 20th of 2018. Do you recall that date?
I do.
Were you working?
I was
What shift were you working?
working the midnight shift, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Okay. And at approximately 5:02 a.m., what if anything happened?
I was dispatched to 27 Tilton Drive for a possible structure fire.
Do you recall what time you arrived?
Just a few minutes later,
When you arrived, who else was already on scene?
other patrol officers, Patrolman Redmond was there, Patrolman Marino, Patrolman Bones, Sergeant Malone. There were also firefighters and fire personnel arriving.
Now, when you arrived on scene, what was your primary role?
I was assigned to just make sure that neighbors and onlookers stayed a safe distance away from the fire and just stay out of the way of firefighters that were doing their job.
So when you got there, can you describe what the scene looked like?
Firefighters were starting to arrive. I parked a little bit away from the house, I believe, and there was a lot of people standing outside, seeing, just curious about what was going on.
Now, who was the individual that you indicated that your role was to make sure onlookers were at a safe distance?
Sergeant Malone, he was the officer in command at the time.
Okay, and did he assign that role to you?
He did.
Okay. Was there anything in particular that Sergeant Malone requested you to do while you were on scene?
There was.
What was that?
There were several surveillance cameras that were mounted on the residence of 27 Tilton Drive. He asked that I asked the homeowner, Mr. Caneiro, where the DVR footage for the surveillance camera were.
Do you recall how he made that request to
It
you?
was over our radio.
Okay, and so once you received that request, what, if anything, did you do?
I walked over to Mr. Caneiro and I asked him where the DVR for his surveillance footage was.
When you approached Mr. Caneiro, where was he?
His car was parked a little bit down the street south of where his house was. It was facing north, and him and who I believed to be his daughter were both standing outside in the area of his car.
And can you tell us specifically what, if anything, you said to him?
I believe I said where I asked if I confirmed he was the homeowner, and then I asked where the DVR was for his surveillance footage.
And what was his response?
He said, and then he looked away towards his daughter, and then his daughter answered on his behalf and said, in the garage.
And what, if anything, did you ask him after that?
I asked where specifically in the garage.
And what was his response?
He said, again, and then looked away, and his daughter answered again and said, up top and to the left.
And what else did you ask him?
I asked if the cameras were currently running.
And what was his response?
He said that he's been having problems with stuff in the garage and that he currently has a ticket open with one of the companies.
Now, who, if anyone, did you relay that information to?
Sergeant Malone over my radio.
When things are relayed over your radio to, for example, to Sergeant Malone, can other officers hear that?
Yes.
Okay. How does that work? Just if they're wearing, if they have a radio, can they
Yeah,
hear?
every officer has a radio on their belt. Most officers have a lapel mic like this, and this you could talk into and also hear other officers talking.
Did you speak to Mr. Caneiro at any point again that morning?
I did.
When was that?
Just a few minutes later, I believe.
Can you tell us about that?
Patrolman Marino asked me over the radio if the DVR for the surveillance cameras was specifically a white DVR box.
And as a result of that, what did you do?
I walked back over to Mr. Caneiro.
What, if anything, did you say to him?
I asked specifically if the DVR box for the surveillance cameras was white.
And when you asked him that, where was Mr. Caneiro at that point?
He was now seated in the driver's seat of his car, and I believe his daughter was in the passenger seat.
Was that car in the same area as it was that when you earlier described it to us?
It was.
Do you remember whose car was behind his car?
I believe Patrolman Marino's car, patrol car, was behind his.
When you asked him about the color, what was his response?
He said that he did not remember.
Were you wearing a body-worn camera that morning?
I was.
Was it activated?
It was.
Did you have a chance to watch that body-worn camera prior to today?
I did.
And did it capture your interactions with Mr. Caneiro that you just described?
It did.
Was it fair and accurate? Was it a fair and accurate portrayal of those interactions?
Yes.
S78, I'm showing counsel. I'm showing you what's been marked as S78. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
And what is that?
I believe it's a DVD of my body-worn camera footage.
Thank you. At this point, Judge, the state seeks permission to play S78 and pass out the transcript of that, which is S79.
Okay, you can pass it up. I've given you this charge twice today. You remember?
Yes.
Proud of you. But you guys didn't all say yes.
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 Thank you. Yes, you can. Everyone's good? Everyone's got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Prosecutor, go ahead.
It is S78.
pause, please. Pausing at a timestamp, 3 seconds. Officer, can you just orient us and tell us what we're looking at here?
This is me walking towards where Mr. Caneiro was standing. And this is just a little bit south down the street from where his residence was.
Okay. And is this going to be your first interaction with him or the second one? If not, we'll play it. I can ask.
I'm not sure.
It's
I'm
all
not sure just by looking at this.
How you doing, sir? It's your house? Yes. Where is all the DVD stuff for the cameras and everything in the house?
It's in the garage.
It's in the garage?
Yeah.
Where in the garage at?
You walk in the garage and it's all the way up top to the left.
On top to the left? Do you have them running right now?
I've been having problems with stuff in the garage.
You've been having problems with stuff in the garage?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can take it over actually. One of the companies.
Okay. All right.
I just want to clarify, we're pausing at 47 seconds. Was that your first or second interaction with him?
That was my first
Okay,
interaction.
thank you. We can continue.
So when you walk in the garage, it's to the left. Upper left corner. So he's been having problems with his cameras.
At 2 minutes, 22 seconds. Who was that asking you to ask if it's white?
Patrolman Marino.
Thank you.
Is the DVR for the cameras a white box? You don't know it? Okay. It's really nice. You're not great. He's not sure. Say that.
Was that the entirety of your interactions with the defendant that day?
Yes.
Okay. And how long were you at scene for?
About 2 hours.
Did you have anything more to do with this case?
No, just later that evening, I drove the defendant to the Monmouth County Correctional Institute, but we didn't engage in any conversation.
Okay. Did you, on scene, was your primary role scene security, I guess is what I'm asking?
Yeah, just
Okay.
scene security.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. I have no further questions. I can collect the transcripts.
You can. We can just pass them down to juror number 1 and to juror number 9.
Thank No.
Okay, Cross?
Good afternoon, officer. So with respect to the first conversation that you had with Mr. Caneiro, I just want to walk through it a little bit. So you were told to ask Mr. Caneiro for this information, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you asked Mr. Caneiro, where is all the DVD stuff for the cameras and everything in the house, correct? That was your question.
Where the DVR for the camera footage was.
What? Sir, I'm going to approach with what's been marked as S79. This is a transcript of what we just watched, okay? And you can see it's your body-worn camera. It says reviewed by Bernhard, that's you, right? And it has a legend here. BB is Brendan Bernhard, CW is Winkowski, that's another officer. PC is Paul Caneiro, KC is Caitlin Caneiro, and RT is radio transmission. So here is what I was referring to, sir. At the top of page 1, you say, where is the all the DVD stuff for the cameras and everything in the house, correct?
Correct.
What you meant was the DVR, right?
Correct.
Okay. And after you ask that, between Mr. Caneiro and his daughter, you learn it's in the garage,
Correct.
right? And specifically, you learn it's like up to the right. You walk into the garage and it's all the way up to the right, up top to the left, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then you ask Mr. Caneiro, do you have them running right now? Right?
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Caneiro's response is, I've been having problems with stuff in the garage. That's his response, correct?
Correct.
So he says stuff in the garage, problems with stuff in the garage.
Correct.
And then you repeat it back to him and you say you've been having some problems with stuff in the garage, right?
Yes.
And ultimately so he says yes, you say okay. And then Mr. Caneiro says, I have a ticket open actually with one of the companies.
Yes.
Indicating some sort of IT issue.
Yes.
So Mr. Caneiro, to be clear, he never says I'm having problems with my DVR system specifically, right?
He did not specifically say that.
He just says I'm having problems with stuff in the garage, and there's no further clarification at that point, right?
We were talking about the DVR for the cameras, though.
Right. Well, you said DVD for you say all the DVD stuff for the cameras and everything in the house was your question, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, and then you ask if they're running, and he says, I don't know, I've been having problems with stuff in the garage, right?
That's what he said.
And so you don't ask him like, what do you mean by that, right?
No.
That's not your next question.
No.
You only have one goal at that point, which is to just learn where it is, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're not engaging in a full-blown conversation with him, asking him to elaborate on what that meant, right?
I did not ask that.
Okay. And then you then relay, I guess it's over the radio, to Officer Marino where it's located, right? I'm at the top of the next page if you need to refresh your memory.
I believe that was to Sergeant Malone.
Okay, Sergeant Malone then. So you relay over the radio where it is?
Yes.
And he said when you walk into the garage, it's to the left in the upper left corner, correct?
Correct.
And then you say, he said he's been having problems with his cameras recently, correct? That's what you say he said.
Correct.
But Mr. Caneiro never said that to you, fair?
Correct.
He never said I've been having problems with my cameras. He said stuff, right?
Correct.
And maybe that's how you interpreted it, because you were asking him about cameras, but again, there was no further elaboration or clarification. You're assuming at that point, right? You're assuming that he's having problems with his cameras when he said stuff.
I wouldn't say I was assuming. We were talking about the cameras, and he said he's been having problems with stuff in his garage. So I took it as him having problems with his cameras.
Right, that's how you took it, is my point, right?
Okay.
Yes or no, that's how you took it.
That's how I took it.
Okay. And when did this interaction with Mr. Caneiro occur? How long after you arrived on scene?
I don't remember.
Was it, so this is when right prior to the officers were going to retrieve the DVR, right?
I'm not sure. As I testified, I was not really that close to the house. I was worried about scene security. The other officers were close to the house. They were out of view. I did not see them or where they were.
Okay, but you also know that they got the DVR, right?
Not that evening. I learned after the fact.
Okay. At the time, when they were asking you to ask Mr. Caneiro where the DVR was, you understood that to mean because they were looking for it and wanted to retrieve it. Fair?
Not fair. I asked Mr. Caneiro where the DVR was just because my supervisor asked me to ask him that.
Sir. You assumed at the time that they wanted the security footage to review, right?
Objection, asked and answered.
He gave you the answer that he knows. I'm going to ask you to move on from that question.
Sir, you testified in a previous hearing, correct?
Correct.
A hearing in this case,
Correct.
right? So I'm going to. So I'm approaching you with what's been marked as D72 for identification. This is a transcript of a proceeding that you participated in back in April of this year, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to direct your attention to page 159. And this is labeled Bernhard Direct, right?
Correct.
And this is where you're sworn in. Officer Bernhard sworn state's witness, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so this is your testimony moving forward, starting on page 159.
Correct.
Okay, now I'm going to direct your attention to page 186. we're going to start at the bottom. And you say, I'm asking you about the security footage, right? And I say, and you didn't explain, like you said, you didn't explain why you were asking him the questions about the security footage because you didn't even know why you were asking those questions, right? And then you say, I would say that's fair to say. I mean, yeah, I wasn't entirely sure. And then you say, I assumed that they wanted security footage to view, but I didn't know why they wanted to view it exactly. Did I read that correctly?
You did.
Okay. So in prior testimony, you indicated that you did assume that they wanted to look at it, right?
I also testified that the reason I asked him is because my supervisor told me to ask him.
That may be why. We can agree that that's why you asked him, correct? That's why you asked him,
Correct.
right? But the reason why the question was relevant, why you were directed to ask it, is so that the footage could be viewed, right? And it's a reasonable assumption.
Objection.
I don't even know where we're going. Can we come up here, please?
Okay. It looks like Judge Romo has an issue with speculation and insinuation again. There's a fine line. We have seen theatrics in drama trials before where they just throw anything out there. Well, there actually, some judges won't even allow those kind of avenues of questioning that aren't relevant or actually pertain to the case in general, and also the scope of who you're asking and what you're asking. Now, it's perfectly valid to ask questions about the investigation and why someone did something or not. But to insinuate that the man was asking questions and he didn't know why he was asking the questions, that might be a bit much. I think that's taking a comment out of context, and I think that might be where the judge is going. But I don't know, because I don't get to listen. You know, sometimes we get these transcripts after, but apparently that question's out.
You authored a report in this case, right?
Correct.
And you authored it, so you responded to the scene on November 20th of 2018, right?
Correct.
Can we approach actually?
Sure.
I would imagine she's going to see if there's a way that she can still get it in discussing things that he said during his actual recanting of everything that happened in his deposition. I do look forward to sometimes reading the sidebar transcriptions after a trial. It kind of gives you an insight as to some of the things where you didn't know what was going on or why something went a certain way. And there's quite a few aha moments in there, at least for me. I don't know. Talk to me in the comments. Does anybody else do that? I don't think I'm the only one out here that likes to read the inner workings of what the attorneys were doing and their arguments on why they should be able to do it or their arguments against why they shouldn't be able to do it. And I do always enjoy the judges applying law to those things. Remember, prosecutors coming from one side, defense is coming from the other side, and it's the judge who administers the law equally for everyone, keeping Paul Caneiro's rights paramount and also the rights of justice in the victims. The judge is the law, and he's the one interpreting it and applying it to everything in the case.
Obviously, this conversation with Mr. Caneiro happened before the DVR was retrieved, because that's the purpose of you having the conversation with him in the first place, is so that they know where to then find it, right?
Correct.
Okay. So that was on November 20th, 2018, correct?
Correct.
Your report was not, you authored a report in this case?
I did.
It was not provided to the prosecutor until last year in 2025, correct?
Objection.
What's the relevance of the date of his report?
The fact that it was provided 7 years later and and the reason is a Spillman reason, which
Okay,
is relevant.
go ahead.
That's correct.
Okay. And so the reason why your report wasn't provided until 7 years later is because at the time that you wrote the report, you weren't able to enter into Spillman, is that correct?
I wasn't able to enter into that particular call in Stillman.
Okay. And and when did you, tell me if I'm wrong, at the time that you tried to enter your report, you were trying to write it directly into Spillman, correct?
Correct.
And just so the jurors are aware, what is Spillman?
Spillman is the police database that my police department uses, which we write reports on, and there's a lot of police data on it, confidential police data on it, and that's where we write our police reports on.
Okay. And when did you write your report originally?
I'd like to clarify, I believe I previously testified that it was estimated a day or two after the call for service.
Right.
A more accurate depiction would be between November 20th and November 29th.
Okay. So somewhere in a 9-day time period is what you're saying?
Correct.
So originally you thought maybe it was a day or two, now you're saying it could be a little more than a week.
Correct.
You're not sure when.
The report was saved to when Spillman was locked and I could not access it. I wrote the report on a Word document and saved it to my police file on our police department computer. That file was last edited on November 29th
Okay.
of 2020.
All right. So at that time when you attempted to put it into Spillman, Spillman was locked, meaning you could no longer enter your report into Spillman.
Correct.
And that's because the call or the case was closed at that point. Is what you're saying?
The Spillman case was locked,
Okay. And well, why would it be locked?
so no reports could be added or deleted.
And does that normally happen when the case is concluded?
I mean, in my opinion, the case is still active. I guess if the investigation is concluded, if that's what you,
Well, like who decides when to lock Spillman?
Objection.
I'm not sure.
He doesn't know.
So in your report, you discuss your role on the 20th, correct?
Correct.
And at the end of your report, you write NFAT, which stands for no further action taken.
Correct.
Okay, but there was further action taken because as you just testified, you actually transported Mr. Caneiro that night, correct?
Correct.
And it was the same day, but it was later that evening,
Correct.
maybe going into the next day, but like around midnight or so?
I don't remember the exact time, but yes, later that evening.
Okay, and you didn't memorialize anything about that in your report, correct?
No.
Nothing further, thank you.
No, nothing, Judge.
You can step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
How you feeling?
Super.
Bring
remember seeing this.
I'm going to let you go home for the day. I've seen a lot of your eyes during this afternoon. I'm trained to look into your eyes. So I'm going to let you go home for today. You've had a full day. So we will be back tomorrow morning, same time, same place, better jokes. Have a good night. Please don't discuss this case. Don't do any research. We'll bring you back downstairs. And thank you very much. I really appreciate all your efforts.
Okay, so jury is being let go. But let's see if Judge Lemieux has things to discuss with the attorneys, because, well, I have a sneaky suspicion there may be a comment or two, if not a full issue addressed. While the jury leaves, they have muted the mic. Let's see. The attorneys are all sitting down, which means George has not dismissed them. But I do hope that the mic will open up. Some of the audio was rough today. Miss Mastellone going through papers while testimony was being given was a little rough because her mic was not muted. So that kind of caused a little bit of making it difficult to hear. The mics were going in and out from inside. I'm going to see what I can do the best I can to get the audio up for you. I'm not sure why we can't hear what's going on, but the way Monika is blinking, I think somebody's talking. I've noticed when she's listening, Monika does that. It's like a tick. We all have something. I mean, it's not a thing. I'm just saying, I wish we could hear what was being discussed.
On the record, but I just thought I wanted to bring up one topic
Sure.
very briefly. I mean, can we do the chambers? I don't think.
I was bringing you back to chambers anyway.
Maybe mine.
Anybody else need to put anything on the record?
No, thank you, Judge.
All right. So I'll see the attorneys in chambers.
Oh, attorneys to chambers. That's like being called to the office. Uh-oh. Yeah, I could tell he was getting a little
Sheriff's officers for a second, please.
Okay. And he needs to see the sheriff officers in regards to transferring Mr. Caneiro. I don't know what's going on. Maybe we will hear about it in the morning. I'm not going to cut the video until we have a clear sign that it's over. But of course, we can't go into chambers, so we're not going to know about any of that. Well, that looks like it's it. Well, until tomorrow morning. I would like to hear what you thought about today. I really don't have a lot to say right now. I'm kind of with Judge Lemieux, though, about them asking the same question over and over again, not getting to the point, staying in scope. I'm not an attorney. I know these are difficult jobs. Everybody has their own style. And I do trust Judge Lemieux to keep it on track, though. He seems to be doing a good job. I've seen many do much worse. I have. And it's not an easy trial. There was a lot of delays. There's a lot to be recanted, recalled, rather, not recanted, recalled. We're talking about something that happened 7 years ago, almost 8. Actually, it has been 8. Has it been 8? I was like, no, 7 years ago. It's hard. You know, they have their documents, they refresh what they can, and now they've got, you know, everyone asking them to be more precise. And I'm speaking of the witnesses and all, especially in law enforcement, and they will get put upon the most. Did you say this? Did you do this? Did you do that? What did you mean? You know, why didn't you do this? Like, what happened to that? You know how it goes. There's only so much you can prep for it. You know, it's a whole different thing when you get in the classroom. Well, that's all we have for today. We'll see you again tomorrow if you join us. Thank you for joining the replay crew. Thank you for all of your comments, your likes, in the views that we are getting on this trial. Sorry I can't be live, but at least we're getting it to you. And I really hope to hear from you in the comments. Like, ask any questions. We'll talk about it, discuss little things going on. I really want to hear from you. I miss you all.